This here is the Tucktec kayak. I actually signed up for a Kickstarter. I was a super early bird, and it took quite a while for it to ship because of COVID and everything, so I understand. But I didn't get to take this out with me on my last road trip, which I absolutely would have loved, especially at Park Reservoir. There are a lot of other places I was at too. Just got this, it's unopened. It's a lot heavier than I thought it was gonna be, probably just because I haven't been working out at all. I've just been hiking. But let's open this guy up and set it up for the first time. See what happens. Comes with a sheet with instructions. There's a video online. I don't know if they made new videos, but I watched the old ones. So big thing is there's a lot of pre-folds on this. So we don't want to force any of the folds. We're just kind of have to ease them into it so we don't break anything. Shoulder strap. Oh my gosh. All right, I can't imagine hiking with this. I think that's it. Yep. I don't know. I think that's the right way. Letters up. Cupped and back. Oh, it's too far. My legs are too short. From here it does look like a kayak. I thought the front and the back would be the same, but it looks like the front has more of an angle than the back, which is good. But seats in place, I think I did it correctly. And pretty nice. Now, one of the big things of these folding kayaks is there's a gap here, so you get some water in there, so it'll slow you down. And it looks like they put this reinforced piece of plastic here. It used to not be there, so that would hit the beach or rocks if you beached. But they put this there, so it looks like it's going to reinforce it, and you just replace it with some rivets. So it's good. And it's a very wide kayak. Seat's comfy. I don't know if I did the seat correctly, but that's it put together. It's quite hot in the sun, and there's a little tail portion so it goes through the water straighter. Once you're in the water, it'll straighten it out, but pretty nice. Very big. It did take me a while because I was trying to figure it out. The back seat's totally different from what I remember, and they used to also have a strap coming further back, I believe, which will hold this together closer. The kayaks do have a footrest. It's hooked into this elastic, so it moves around and you adjust it over here. And I think this is what I like. So when you step against it, it's pulled taut. I think that's what I like, but you know, I haven't gone kayaking yet, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna like. Now this whole thing is floats. This whole thing is buoyant as well. And this is all recycled plastic. This is all recycled plastic, recycled plastic. Big thing is they said if you ever capsize, what you do is you put the kayak upright like this, and then you just climb in when it's full of water, but it won't sink even if it's full of water because all the foam will actually keep it up. And once you're inside, you start bailing water after that. So interesting thing is, over here we seem to have a couple of notches cut off. Here too. It's not in the back. I'm not sure what it's for. It looks like you might be able to hook something into it. I'm not sure. You might have to get a bungee cord and hook it there and wrap it under and hook it here. I'm not sure why that's there actually. But that's there. These foam side panels, I think they were originally put there so when you're paddling, your arm doesn't scrape against the plastic edges here. But it's nice that it serves as a flotation type device as well. And there is a reinforced bit of plastic here as well, and that's hooked in pretty nice. The seat got hot as soon as the sun came out. I am not quite sure what these deals are for. I think it's more to hold the kayak rigid. I'm not sure. You might be able to hook something under it. They're not flexible, so you can't slide anything underneath it. I think it's to keep the kayak more rigid. In the back of the seat, the shoulder strap goes here, so you can lean back against it. I slid this under. I tried to get this to work, but the thing is, you have to push this down to lock it, but then you can only get one little thing under there. I'm not sure what else goes on. I'm gonna have to go watch the videos again. Well, I'm gonna put this guy away now because the sun is starting to cook it, but not bad. It's really wide, right? I've never gone kayaking before, so when I go, this will be my first, and hopefully it goes well. It's not like super high on the sides. I think it'll be all right. All right, let's try to put this guy away now. I'm at a place called Twin Lakes. I'm going to try to kayak out here. It's in my car. I brought my flotation device. I forgot that I actually had to run back inside. I think I forgot my GoPro. That thing's so small, you always just lose it. It's kind of a bummer because I was going to put it on my chest and that was going to be a main thing. That's one of the only cameras I have that's waterproof. Now I'm going to try to assemble it and get a lot of weird looks, I guess, and then take it out. There's a few people fishing out here. Let's give it a shot. We'll just do it right next to the car because there's no other level surface. Just go right here. And there's the old lake I'm going to take it out on. Pretty smooth, should be easy, right? And it's well graded right here, straight down, so shouldn't be an issue. how quickly I can do it this time. The tail has a cord that's supposed to hold it up or down, but it came wrapped around a part, so it wasn't functioning correctly. I fixed it later. I signed up for the Kickstarter on March 10th. The company has no clue that I make YouTube videos, nor have they asked me for anything, and I purchased a kayak myself, so this is completely unsolicited. I also don't have any rebate codes or anything like that if you wish to purchase one later. Tucktec made kayaks with the same design before, but this time it would be made of all recycled plastics. They have a variety of colors to choose from, but I chose yellow so I could be more easily spotted. The Kickstarter price was also just $249 at the time, including the paddle and a waterproof bag. Currently though, the Tucktec kayak retails for $350. They exceeded expectations by much more than they expected, to the point they had to move to a different warehouse for more staff to increase production, all while working with COVID restrictions. With the advertised delivery date of May, it would have been perfect to take with me on this recent trip, but things happened. Due to a variety of delays from suppliers of parts and materials, I didn't receive it until mid-July. I guess plastics manufacturers prioritized making clear screens due to the pandemic, so everything just got put on hold. Makes sense? And no. They said that they could not make a clear kayak because clear plastics become too brittle. I'm not sure exactly why, but that's what they said. Wouldn't that have been cool though? Before I found out about Tucktec, I was looking at the Oru kayaks and signing up for every contest that could reduce the overall cost. The similar kayak from Oru as the Tucktec costs $900. Crazy. The Tucktec weighs about 8 pounds more at 28 pounds, but has a slightly increased capacity at 350 pounds, although some question that. However, because of the boxy design when folded, I knew I would have to store the Oru inside my car, whereas the Tucktec can fit inside a cargo box on the roof. One very important reason though that I went with Tucktec was because of the material Oru uses. They use corrugated board which has tiny channels everywhere that can make it extremely difficult to dry thoroughly, which isn't compatible with car life. With the Tucktec, it's smooth plastic, so you just need towels to wipe it dry. Yes, the Oru does look cooler, but $650 savings looked way better for me. Even now, it's still a $550 savings. On my first trip, it did track a little to the side, but I found out later that the string controlling the back rudder was twisted around a rivet, causing it to sit crooked. I would say it moved very well and glided along for quite a while even after I stopped paddling. It was comfortable sit-in and I never felt off balance, although I'd love to find a nice clean lake and see how much it can take before I roll it into the water. The only con I have about paddling is the kayak is wider than a conventional kayak, so my hands did hit the side foam pad several times. I had to extend my hand out further or raise the alternate hand higher to avoid hitting those pads. Somebody complained that the seat back was too high, but with the PFD I was using, which is the Astral V8, which has the high back, the seat back never interfered, so it felt just fine for me. When using this kayak or any kayak from what I have been reading, just getting a PFD with a high back is very important, so I definitely look into that. The plastic of the kayak is 1/8 inch thick and felt very durable. As long as you don't slam any corners into some abrasive rocks, I feel like this thing will take quite a beating. Between the durability and the flexibility, if the sides or bottom hit anything, I think it could survive it pretty well. Anybody that ever tried to cut a branch that's bouncing along with a hatchet will know exactly what I mean. A branch sitting on a hard surface is much easier to cut, of course. Because of its simple material, it would also be very easy to fix later. In my car, I do carry plastic epoxy just in case I needed to repair anything on the car, but I think it'll work just as well for this kayak. Maybe. The only concern I had was with the front bottom corner, but they seem to add the reinforcement there to take some abuse. I would still like to have an angled piece of plastic or something harder that can attach to the entire front, maybe something that attaches with elastic bands, which then would be much easier to replace. This wide open design makes it so it will take on water easily, so it is not intended for rapids or ocean waves, so I will keep it on lakes and maybe inlets that are more protected from larger waves. This actually would have worked well even on some of the channels on the east side of Vancouver Island. Most days we were there, the water was calm enough to ride this kayak. I mean, it is a folding $250 kayak, so you can't expect it to do everything. Overall though, I really enjoyed my time in it and really look forward to using it in some mountain lakes. I ordered a fishing kit with it, so I'm still hoping I get some real use out of it in Utah or Wyoming, maybe Colorado. We'll see. Dan, the owner of Tucktec, has been very responsive, so I wouldn't hesitate to order anything from him again if I wanted another. Of course though, I'd expect some delays as they are still fulfilling Kickstarter orders. If you have any additional questions about the kayak, feel free to ask away. I'll do my best to answer. And by the way, the footage of me paddling was done with the Insta360 camera. I had a tripod base for it, and then I mounted it onto a 4-foot long selfie stick and used bungee cord to strap it onto the kayak. And lucky me, I didn't wind up knocking it into the water, so it worked out pretty well. Although I admit I did hit it with the paddle one time.